Come see the latest bundle deal from Games Workshop. This is the Space Marine Strike Force Ultima. Spiky bits.
Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.
Alright, welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Rob Baer here again with you, breaking down this brand new bundle deal from Games Workshop, the Space Marine Strike Force Ultima. Woo! This thing's coming in fresh. I mean, it's $250 US. You get roughly $370-ish, depending on how you want to price a couple of things. But either way, it's definitely at least $100 more, so I feel like MSRP, so I feel like that's a win in everybody's wallet / pocketbook as far as that goes. Now, of course, you know, any release wouldn't be complete without a little Space Marines to jazz it up. And of course, you know, all these Gene Stealers running around, well, they can't be left unchecked. You got to have some Space Marines to keep them in line, I feel like. So this box contains everything you see here, of course. You get the sweet Stormhawk, Razorback, Stern Guard, new Terminator Chaplain that hasn't, or Terminator Captain that hasn't been sold separately, Tactical Squad, Terminator Squad, Land Raider, Drop Pod, of course, and it comes with a fantastic new detachment, or excuse me, formation that you can use with all this stuff that's actually pretty good, and we'll get to that probably last because it's at the bottom. So there is that. So if you ever get one of these things, I don't know if you've seen, like, these things are pretty thick. Like, I keep these boxes because a lot of this stuff I send to Patreons, like all the Gene Stealer stuff, everything we do, you know, we review on here. I try to break it down to its lowest common denominator and send it out to all the folks that support everything we do here on the channel, and of course the site as well. But you know, I keep all these boxes because these are great hobby boxes just to throw all your crap in and keep stuff sorted and everything like that. Now, this is basically a menagerie of sprues because some stuff got upgraded and some stuff has different parts and things like that. So it's a lot of stuff you've already seen here on the channel, us unbox or, you know, talk about in the past, but I'm just gonna lay it out just so you basically can see how much of a value you really get in here. Because of course you got the Rhino Sprue, which that has been around since 2000, literally. And then of course you get your Drop Pod, which isn't quite as old as this guy right here, but it's still pretty decent. And then a Vehicle Accessory Sprue, which was originally with the Land Raider, believe it or not. Then you get the Tactical Squad Sprues, which I'm just gonna snap and put together. Now, we did these when they first came out, and they're an amazing I guess upgrade or revision to the traditional Tactical Marine because they come with all the combi weapons. You get this sweet Space Marine missile launcher with a rocket arm. I mean, just all sorts of stuff, all the combis. Of course, you get all of the special weapons now, from Grav to Melta to Plasma. Man, it's just such a sweet sprue in here. And then of course you get a couple extra bits as far as weapons go. Now, it doesn't come with the rest of the heavy weapons because of course that's what the Devastator Squad's for, but you can only dare to dream so much in this hobby, I feel like. These are parts of the Land Raider, which has been around since 1999, believe it or not. I fact checked it. It's also marked on the sprue, but I just remember because it was like the coolest thing. Actually, this was only $50 when it first came out. Now I believe they're $75, which for being 15 years later, I don't know what the exact math on the inflation, etc. But I feel like that's not that bad of a deal. Only $15 more in 15, or only $25 more in 15 years. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it through rose-colored glasses, or you could say Games Workshop colored glasses. Then we got the Stern Guard Squad, which again, another new release, relatively speaking, in the past, you know, couple of years. That comes with a lot of great stuff. I like the tabard torsos there, but of course the special issue ammunition guns. Remember, Stern Guard are basically the 5th edition equivalent of Deathwatch. You didn't have Deathwatch rules anymore, so people were like, oh, we'll just use Stern Guard as, you know, just use your Deathwatch models as Stern Guard. You can take them as elites, and that's kind of where they came from. Of course, now we have Deathwatch again, which The circle is now complete, I feel like. So there's another piece to the Rhino. And then, of course, you got the weapon sprue, Rhino Razorback. The Terminator Sprues, I don't know if we've ever showed them on this channel because they're from 2005. But basically, it's one sprue of legs and torsos and heads, shoulder pads as well. And then another weapon sprue, which is their arms, and of course, their heavy weapons from the assault cannon's Cyclone launcher. Now, what's cool about this is, if you get the Terminator Assault Squad, if you didn't already notice, this goes away and you get a new sprue of all of the Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields and Lightning Claws and a couple of different heads. It's pretty neat looking, but that's basically what they did back in the day. They had a base sprue and then an upgrade sprue. And speaking of that, that's also what they did for the Stormhawk, because they took the Storm Talent sprue from 2001 and then added the armored and extra wings and things like that to it just this year, as a matter of fact. So as you can see here, the pile has grown quite substantially of everything you get in this box. Now, let's talk value, I feel like, because I feel like that's what we need to talk about. Now, all of the instructions and everything are in here. Of course, you got, instructions for days, all separate, so you can do them one by one and then throw them away and never remember about them again. So, let's talk value, okay? Boom, there's the, I like visuals. I like to order by a menu when I go into a food establishment. If they don't have pictures, I might not be able to order. I don't know. Well, that and the fact that I'm gluten intolerant always comes into play too. So I'm just really screwed when I go out to eat, I feel like. Anywho, so we got the drop pod, and that's $37.25 retail. The Land Raider $75 retail. Termies are $50 retail. Tactical Squad's $40 retail. Then you got the Stern Guard, which are $50 retail. Interestingly enough, the Deathwatch Veterans are not $50 retail. I don't know how that math works, but that's how it works. The Razorback kit, the Rhino Razorback, I actually don't know how much that is. I want to say it's like 41. We'll go with 41. The Stormhawk's 55. And then the Terminator Captain is kind of an enigma because it hasn't been released yet separately except for with a Deathwatch sprue, and that bad boy was $25. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they have plans to release him separately because, well, there he is right there. Because if you look in this box, let me dig to the deep bottom, they have a little basically clamp pack placard right there, and the only reason they included that is because it has the instructions on it. So I would imagine we'll see this guy as a separate release at some point. Can't give you an ETA on it, or even hope to imagine when that would come out, but you never know. I mean, this guy is copyrighted 2013 because I think he came with that one Strike Force Ultra box set. There was a bunch of Termies, a bunch of Storm Ravens, and this guy. And he was going for like $80 at the time. Of course, his prices dropped significantly because it seems like every Space Marine bundle deal that's come out has had him in it. Now, I promised you a new formation, right? Let me find it here. Okay, here it is. So inside this box, if you haven't already seen it, is a formation. And what's cool about it is we know there's a whole lot of like come in, alpha strike, deep strike, do stuff strike. Well, this one's kind of like that because it's basically the formation itself is all of this stuff here, right? And then of course the captain must be equipped with Terminator armor. I feel like that's fair because that is literally what comes in here, and you can't upgrade him to, I guess at that point you couldn't upgrade him to a Chapter Master because Chapter Master is a way better version of the captain, but I think they saw through our clever ruse here. Special rules: during deployment, all units in this formation must be placed in reserves. Okay, well, I hope you have some other units in your army, or, well, I guess you'll get it all on the table, so you won't auto lose at least. All non-vehicle units from this formation must either be embarked on a transport vehicle from the formation or placed in Deep Strike Reserve. All of the units in this formation, including flyers, arrive from reserve on your first turn. There's no need to roll. So you get all this stuff turn one. Now, granted, the vehicles can only roll on from the board edge, but the flyers can definitely fly on and do their flyer thing, right? When a unit from this formation arrives from reserve or disembarks from a transport vehicle for the first time, aka drop pod, aka Razorback, all ranged weapons carried by models in the unit add 1 to the number of shots they can make until the end of the turn. That's pretty good. Because now you're throwing, I mean, it's not like game breaking, you're not going to win games over it, but you get a bunch of like extra last cannon shots here, right? You get some extra Stormhawk interceptor shots. Whatever your Stern Guard's armed with, you get an extra shot there. 2 Flamer templates, perhaps. I could see that being pretty good in the days of the Gene Stealer and the Xenos. Terminator Squad, getting an extra Cyclone shot. Man, even a Tactical Squad with an extra grav. I mean, one grav shot is 3 literal weapons, you know what I mean? So, I'm digging it. I think this isn't game breaking like the Skyhammer Annihilation Force, but it's definitely something to not snooze about, although this is a lot of points here to take, but I could definitely see in a lot of bringing hobby bag type formats, local game, local game store events or tournaments, you could definitely see this on the board as well. So it's cool to see a nice, neat little formation that a lot of people could get behind and really kind of give you that boost to just vanilla Space Marines that, don't get a bunch of stuff for free or get to assault the turn they come in. Oh wait, they can all do it. Anyway, it's still cool. Look, it's just cool. Just believe me, it's cool. All right, y'all. That's it for this one. Thanks for hanging in there with me over this brand new Games Workshop bundle deal with lots of older stuff that we had already talked about and a little bit of new stuff, I feel like. So it wasn't too bad. Errors, omissions, questions, ask me about my cats in the comments below.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.